You're interested in working in tech and have heard of all these fancy titles like front-end engineer, user experience designer, and data scientist, but don't know how they fit all together? This is how I felt 5 years ago when I went through a career change into tech. I'll take you through the process of how technology gets built and the types of people involved, so you can be more confident talking tech and know who does what. The premise of most businesses is that you hire staff to build a product or service and to sell it. And in tech, both sides are incredibly valuable. I've seen tech startups build products that consumers don't want or don't know about, which ends in wasted resources. So let's jump into the different roles. Before developers write a line of code, a product manager leads the vision on what they will build. The product manager works with the customer to understand their problems, what's to be built to solve their problem, and importantly, if the customer will buy what is built. They keep on top of how customers want the product to be improved and prioritize these requests so that customer needs are met, but also it's worthwhile for the business. Product managers are like the mini CEO of the product, but at this stage, it's only an idea. So a product manager will partner up with a user experience designer, a UXer, to work through how a user flows through the product and also to make sure it's an efficient and easy to use experience. The UX designer looks at your first interaction with the product to your last and tries to make it more fun and efficient and remove anything annoying like having too many buttons to click. They'll also work with the user interface designer, a UI. The UI designer will focus on the visual representation of what you're using, like the fonts, the colors, the images, and the menu bars. The product manager and the UI and UX designer will work together to create a prototype of the product, which could be designed with no code behind it. They'll ask users in their target market to test out the product, will collect feedback, and also test whether users will want to buy this product. The product manager, UI and UXer will tweak the product based on user feedback and meet with developers to discuss the product. Developers are often brought in very early in the planning phase to advise how products can be built more efficiently and also to flag any technical difficulties. After meeting, a product manager will break down all the features of a product into user stories to guide developers on what should be built. Designs of the product might also be attached to the stories to guide developers. These stories are short, simple descriptions of the product from the customer's perspective, so the development team can now start coding. The front-end developer will focus on building the screens or product that you directly interact with on your phone, laptop, or tablet. For example, front-end developers will be designing the screens where we input our messages and switch between messages. The back-end developer will perform the behind-the-scenes work that makes the app function. From the logic that works in your product to how it stores and retrieves data and how it's connected to other technologies. There's often a bit of crossover as to what front and back-end developers do. Once the developers have produced the code, this is then reviewed by a quality assurance tester to ensure the code works as expected and any issues or defects are fixed. The quality assurance tester will use a mix of automated tests which they've programmed, or they'll use manual tests. So this is going through the product as if they were a customer. There are many other roles on the development side that I won't cover here, but you might come across additional roles like cybersecurity managers who are responsible for designing and implementing secure systems which protect from data leaks, hackers, and cyber attacks. And development operations managers, also known as DevOps, who analyze and improve how development teams work together so they can produce code efficiently. One thing I didn't know about tech before I started was that developers do need to go back to old code to make sure that it's efficient, that it works with new code that's been written, and also any new technologies that's been connected up with. This process is called managing your technical debt. You might also have on your team data scientists who collect, analyze, and interpret large data sets. They might find pattern and trends in data to uncover insight, create algorithms and data models to forecast outcomes, use data insights to improve the quality of the product that's offered, and use data insights to create recommendations for team members. An example of this is that a healthcare company might hire a data scientist to analyze over 100,000 x-rays to create an algorithm or a set of rules to better detect cancer in patients. The work of a data scientist can be integrated by a developer into the product, or can be used by the marketing or sales team to drive more users, increase user engagement, or increase revenues achieved by the company. So we've covered on a high level how technical products can be built, and now we're going to cover how customers find and also buy your product. So in a tech company, you might have marketing staff who create awareness of the product or service in the market, and sales staff who guide interested buyers to sign on the contract or buy the actual product. There's a huge array of roles in digital marketing, from deciding on the look and feel of a brand, to running paid advertising campaigns on social media and search engines, to creating engaging content on social media, emails and newsletters to bring people towards your brand, company or service. There's even roles in automating the right messaging or product mix or product offering to customers at the right time. Your company might also have a growth manager who sits between the product and marketing team. They look at how a person becomes a customer, how to keep them engaged, and any other product or services they might want. This might look like an app that offers a person additional services or products based on their search history. A growth manager might run some short advertising campaigns to see if customers are interested in this product or service, and then make recommendations to the product and marketing team. The marketing and growth team regularly review their data to understand how successful their sales have been and where to invest their time and money. So example metrics that they monitor is click-through rate, so how many people click through an ad once they've seen it, and ROAS, return on ad spend. So for every pound or dollar spent on advertising, how much does that bring in sales? If you work for a business that sells to other businesses, there might be a sales manager who develops one-to-one relationships with decision makers in other companies. This sales manager might demo their product, negotiate the contract, and then onboard, support and train the customer staff as they use the product. In recent years, companies have started to hire more community managers. They keep the public engaged with their businesses after they've become a customer or they've just expressed interest in what you're doing. This can be through social media posts, events, newsletters, emails, brand partnerships and more. It provides opportunities for people to get to know your company more and support your company's mission. Companies often benefit from the free promotion by these passionate users. Lastly, there might be an operations team comprising of human resources, finance, operations and strategy managers to make sure the company is moving in the right direction and also bringing the right people in for the job. Okay, so that's a high-level summary of the roles involved in how tech gets built. Let me know if you want to deep dive into any of the roles in a later episode. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.